let's talk about this. So, spoilers for The Last of Us Season 2. I want to briefly talk about this because I posted like 2 tweets. This was the most I could tweet right here. I think all throughout Season 2, Ellie's writing was very, very weird. And with the final episode, the editing was also weird as well. People have been memeing this right here, and this is pretty much it. The caption for this is, heard someone say this looks like a failed QuickTime event and I can't stop seeing it now. Look at this.
And you wasted it.
And now that I've seen it, I'm like, yeah. This is actually like, you missed the prompt and that's it. That's it. I've got no idea why they just cut to Ellie screaming. No, like, are they trying to replicate? I think people posted this in the replies as well. Are they trying to replicate like the John Bernthal no meme or what? Like it's such a weird cut. I don't know why you would do it. And in the final episode, there's also like she goes on like the little trip to the weird like island cult thing, right? And I was so, because it literally changes nothing. Like, she goes there, there's like a pseudo fake out death. This is all in the final episode. This is just the one that I remember the best right now. We'll talk about the rest in a second. But like, she goes to the island, right? There's like the whole fake out death, and it just ends, and she leaves. And this is like a 5-minute sequence, just a small pit stop. Literally changes nothing, means nothing, adds nothing. And I was just like watching this and I was like, what are y'all cooking? So I was so confused by this because I was thinking like, is this going to be like are they just trying to say that like even this kid, because there's like a small kid, right? I was thinking like, are they trying to say that it's like a kid and even the kid is like, yeah, off her? And then it's like, oh, you see how this actually validates what Ellie is doing? Because there's even this small kid who is growing up with like the idea of we just kill everyone, right? And then Ellie is like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Which doesn't make sense. Because Ellie, like throughout Season 2, Ellie isn't really on a warpath. She feels like she is mildly irked by Joel's death. Her writing is really weird. But anyway, so I went and listened to the podcast. And basically what they talked about in the podcast is, so this is with Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, right? So the writer of the game and the showrunner. And basically what they said is that they described it as this almost what if, right? So what if Ellie stopped here and just went home? So them capturing her is supposed to be like this turn back, but she doesn't turn back. She keeps going. And I was like, broskies, that doesn't even make any sense. What do you mean it's turn back? Such a weird thing to include. And in most of this episode had moments like this, like the same thing with the conversation between Ellie and Jesse, right? It was like the whole, Jesse tells her, I knew you would come and save me. Ellie just said that she's not going to go after, what's his name? Joel's brother. Why am I thinking of the word Tony? Joel's brother. She literally just said that she's not going to go after him. She's going to go after Abby. And that is weird because like, the whole Abby thing, most of Season 2, when Ellie seems to be like goofing around, I'm just like, bro, someone's off. Someone's off. And I think the biggest thing is, I don't know why they massively nerfed Ellie. And I was thinking about why this might be the case. Because in Season 1, Joel was hugely nerfed because they wanted to get the idea across that violence has weight, right? Because if you think about The Last of Us 1, the video game, Joel goes around, literally shotguns people in the face, they explode. Like, he is committing a violence 24/7, right? Doesn't really make sense to have a 50-year-old dude running around with a shotgun. So they nerfed Joel, but they nerfed him because it leads up to his rampage at the end of Season 1 where he saves Ellie. So it makes narrative sense. Where Joel is kind of like, he kills people along the way. He does. And he also tortures the dude, right? So he is still a smuggler. The whole thing, I've been on both sides. Like, I know what this is, right? But in terms of just outright going around killing people, it's way tuned down until the Ellie decision moment hits. And that's where he just snaps and he goes berserk, right? Narratively, 10 out of 10 cinema. With Ellie, though, We are supposed to open season 2 after Joel dies. She is completely unleashed, and this is Ellie, who has lived through the apocalypse for literally her entire life. We saw her mow down people in season 1. Season 2 should be Ellie, a super soldier. She's just not. They made her dumb. Like, Dina Dina in the game is like chaining Ellie back and trying to make sure that Ellie doesn't end up getting herself into bigger trouble than she already is, right? But Ellie still is a bulldozer going through everything. In the show, Dina is like the smart one, and Ellie is the dumb one. And I'm just like, why did you do this? Like, yeah, Ellie's supposed to be dumb in the sense that she is blinded by rage. But she's not blinded by rage. She just she's very, very bad at making decisions. And also, when she kills like the pregnant lady, I don't remember their names, but like when she kills her, it's also a bit weird because in the game, the way they portrayed Ellie dealing with like all the deaths she is causing is like, the words I would describe is that she feels trapped and burdened, right? Like, she keeps going through all of this, she keeps killing people, but she feels trapped. Like, she feels like she almost has to do this. She can't stop until every single one of them is dead, right? And then you have those tender scenes with Dina where, like, that armor drops a little bit, but she never lets up. Like, she is still completely almost caged. In the show, she already feels regretful. And I don't think I should be thinking that she feels regretful or feels remorse right now. I think it's way too early. I think right now, Ellie should be bulldozing literally everything. She's not. Half the time she's cracking jokes. The other half the time, she is kind of like, I'm gonna kill Abby. But she isn't really going around and mowing people down. Weird. Weird. Also, one thing that I feel like encapsulates all of this is the freaking rifle. Remember the rifle she was given? This one right here. I had a picture of it opened up. Remember, like, in one of the first episodes of the season, they were talking, like, the dude came out and gave Ellie the rifle. Remember her using the rifle? Because I don't. Huh? Why'd you give her the rifle if she's not going to use it? I thought it was going to be used for like, symbolism of some kind. She didn't even use it. Like, he enabled this revenge, this violence. And it's not even... It's literally a Chekhov's gun that never goes off. Huh? What do you mean? So, season 2, very weird. Also, the way... this is 100% to do with writing. Ellie doesn't feel more mature. People are talking about, the way she looks, which I think they probably could have also done a little bit more to make her look older. Obviously, Bella Ramsey hasn't aged between the show, right? But there are... This is like, friend of a friend has talked to me about this kind of stuff, so this is me listing off fun facts that I know, right? This is I've got no idea. But apparently, like, you can use makeup and hairstyles to really change the way people perceive your age. And even if you look at some of the scenes where Ellie has like her hair completely pulled back, she does look very different from like this. Like this right here looks very different from this. And I think they should have leaned more into these like small changes to really mold how she carries herself and kind of her personality, right? Because again, they write her cracking jokes, they write her sort of goofing around, and she's supposed to be way older, way more hardened, and she just doesn't feel like that to me. I don't think recasting would have worked. People are saying maybe they should have recast for season 2. I don't think recasting like this works in a live action show. I think recasting would have been a bad idea. Personally. I think it would have been a bad call. I think they should just should have worked with like makeup or something to make her look older and just make her carry herself as if she were older and again like more burdened. But yeah, the best episodes, I have the episode list opened up right here. The best episodes, absolutely episode 2, the Jackson, like the whole battle and stuff, and then obviously Abby on the other side. Absolute cinema. And the Joel flashback, like watching the Joel flashback and then watching episode 7 is like the strongest thing in this entire show, is why I think it feels off. Because I was watching 206 and my freaking heart was shattering into a million pieces. Like, if I was thinking about what's gonna happen when I snap back to the present day after seeing how close they were, I was expecting Ellie to go berserk. She never did. and then they do a goofy cutoff like this. Season 2 is weird. Very weird writing decisions. Very, very weird writing decisions, and the editing doesn't help either. Have you seen them putting Ellie in the background for promo and Dina in the front? We won't know for sure, but signs will be there. It's really weird how they shifted focus from this being Ellie to Dina almost being the one scheming this whole thing. It's weird. I think like a side that I don't think people are really taking into account as well is the same thing that was with season 1. The show doesn't feel like a journey just because it's 7 episodes, right? And I feel like with Ellie in particular, we just talked about like removing the gameplay sections where Joel is a Terminator, right? But I think with Ellie in particular throughout season 2, the way you switch from Joel and you now control Ellie, and Ellie is just going through like hordes and hordes of people, I think having that like visceral thing where you go through area after area after area and you play as her and she constantly just keeps going through them, I think that is another very big missed thing that they really should have thought about somehow. It's hard to capture the gameplay sections, it is, but they should have thought about it somehow. The Abby season, I think, is going to be better. I think, because I think season 3 is going to be totally Gabby. I just hope they gotta figure out the way they write Ellie, because she feels like season 1 Ellie. Doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Feels weird. They should do the Last of Us live action remastered edition. They should. I wouldn't say it's bad. Like I know, like this is how the internet does things, right? So if you look at a lot of these episodes, like Day 1, for example, let's look at these numbers. How many do you think is going to be 1s, and how many do you think is going to be 10s? I'm gonna say it's gonna be 50% of people is gonna mark it as 10, and then there's probably gonna be like 10% of people who have marked it as 1. Oh no. I was way off. But like, yeah, like this is what the internet does now. Like, nuance is dead. There is no nuance in anything anymore. We've talked about this on streams before. There is no nuance in any of this anymore. And with The Last of Us, it's like blatantly clear. The number of people who are just like dunking on Bella Ramsey and stuff. Like, bro, they literally wrote her to act as if she's still Ellie, season 1 Ellie. What the hell does that have to do with Bella Ramsey? It's just bad writing. Stop with the nonsense and stop looking at the problem, for the love of God. Like, if you want to solve the problem, talk about the problem. The writing is the problem. Best thing or worst thing ever? Exactly. It's the same thing with all this stuff, and it's freaking exhausting. Because, like, I was watching season 2. I talked about this a few weeks ago as well. I was like, something feels off to me. And the only thing I'm seeing is still people saying everything is fine or everything is bad. And I'm just like, can someone please talk about like the actual show as a whole? And now that the season is over, I've seen like few people talk about it, and I don't think my opinion is that far off of like a few other reviewers that I watch regarding this kind of stuff. So I hope they fix it. I don't know if they can, because like this is just Ellie's character now, but Neil Druckmann fired all the people who actually fixed that stuff for him. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of like weird drama around Neil Druckmann as well. I don't know about it. So if he's done something bad, if he's cancelled, I don't know. I just know he wrote The Last of Us 1 and 2. I think The Last of Us 1 and 2 are good. That's it. That's all I know. Is it worth getting into? Never watched season 1. Season 1 is really, really, really good. For season 2, currently the game is better. I never like. Do I want to get into this again? Basically, TLDR, I always thought that because of the medium, the television series that tells The Last of Us Part 2 game is going to be better because of the way we experience TV. That hasn't happened because they nerfed the writing. Because like with the video game, the cutting between Ellie and Abby wouldn't have worked. With the TV show, that's just what you expect with a TV show. I expected the TV show to be better by default, but they changed Ellie. So, before The Last of Us 2, we laid off writers who also wrote The Last of Us to do a sequel with a new crew of Yes Men. I mean, sure, but The Last of Us 2 was fine. Like I'm sorry, The Last of Us 1 is a trolley problem, The Last of Us 2 is a revenge story. Like, literally two of the most basic storytelling principles ever. And both of them are told in interesting ways. Right? Like, the fact that people get mad at Ellie or Abby, literally the point of the story. The fact that people argue about Joel's decision in game 1, is that's the trolley problem. It does exactly what it set out to do. So, I don't know. In the game, there's a dichotomy. Dollface pretty girl changes into enraged killing machine. It was a big selling and immersion point. Oh yeah, they need to make Bella look way more dirty. Why is her face so clean in every single shot? Look at the way like Rick looked in season 5. They just gotta like rub dirt on her face or something. A lot of the scenes, like if you look at the way Ellie looks, she is covered in blood and cuts. Like, wait, hold on. Ellie, Dina, scene, Last of Us, season, game 2. Last of Us part 2. Look at this. Like, her entire face was covered in blood and cuts. They gotta do more of this. It's the typical thing of, like, outfits looking way too clean. Like, one last thought. The fact that a video game narrative is stronger than a live-action narrative, not on some kind of fantasy shenanigans, but on the fundamental character emotions and motives, is crazy to me. In the year 2025, we have a video game with better character motives and better character like writing than a HBO TV series. Huh? That's kind of wild to think about, isn't it?